Come Together Up podcast. My name's Georgia. We've got Josh, Matty, Nina, Liv, John, Lisa and Chris. We're going to be doing another topic, pick, see where it goes this time. I think we always go off track, don't we, Matty? It's your pick. Start us off.
I hope I get mine. How to navigate romantic relationships in recovery.
Who the hell wrote that down?
Oh my lord.
Nina!
Look at me, I didn't do it.
What a married woman.
Still learning.
When someone lets me know, finds out, can you please let me know?
Yeah.
Because fuck me.
Yeah.
It's a good discussion to have, especially as a few of us in the room are in romantic relationships in recovery or have been.
So, who is in a romantic?
I'm in a romantic relationship with another addict.
Okay.
Same, I'm in a
Steven
romantic
Spielberg back at camera over there.
Harvey Weinstein.
And Matty is in a romantic relationship with somebody that's not an addict.
Yeah.
I certainly am.
Yeah.
Who's not
I'm
romantic?
in a bit of a weird place.
Lives in a bit of a weird place.
with another
I think the only time that I can navigate romantic relationships is when I'm putting my heart and soul into my recovery. And otherwise, I don't know what it is. I thought I either fall to pieces or I turn into an absolute monster.
Yeah.
You know.
Or is it a time where you become grateful for what you've got?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I think there is a bit of that, yeah.
And it's like applying, like, I'm not, without my program in my life, I don't apply like love and compassion and understanding and empathy and humility. Do you know what I mean?
Because sometimes
my brain will just go,
yeah.
Your behaviours are all over the show. Something wrong with you. Not knowing that 2 days previous I was doing the exact same thing myself.
That's the thing, I'm more aware of my behaviours now, and
Yeah.
I have my relationship. I mean, I got married in recovery, so I met him. Well, and we've had some tough times, but then we got married in recovery. But I'm aware of my behaviours, but also it's the most honest relationship I've ever had. It's honesty, and I feel that I can share where I'm at and how I feel with, and there's not going to be a blow up, and I'm not scared to, and I'm not scared of the reaction because he comes, he's doing the same thing as me, and he understands. There's that understanding, and the same for him as well. So you can be like, there's been times where like, you've behaved in a way that you wish you hadn't have done. It's like, but you're able to explain that and talk about it, and I've never had that before. I've never had that. I've always ran away every single time. I said to you, my default program is to run away when things get tough. Pack a bag and do a flip. I've been doing it since I was 14. I ran away from home when I was 14, and that's what I do. But now I'm aware that that's what I do, and I'm like, I'm not doing that today. I'm going to actually sort it out, talk about it, and say, this is how I'm feeling, that's how you made me feel, that's why I reacted like that. It's not right, but let's work on it and
But
move
you come
forward.
across as really passionate about it and empowered.
I am.
So you really sound like you're comfortable where you are.
But that's recovery that's done that for me.
But I've got a completely different perspective because I got into a relationship with my partner who I've been on and off with for the past 4 years. We've relapsed together, we've used together, and we've also been in recovery together. And then because we rushed into the relationship became both of our high powers. It was our identity, it was our life, it was our recovery, it was the reason why we was clean. And ultimately we both become monsters, fucking absolutely battered the shit out of each other, not physically but mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And now the relationship's broke down. He's ended up relapsing, and it went to shit because neither of us was working on ourselves. We was working on each other. He was doing my thinking for me and I was doing his thinking for him, and we was fucking toxic.
I think there's a lot of like learned from previous relationships. There's a lot of bad habits, a lot of bad behaviours, a lot of things that you've carried through your life, what you take into relationships with you.
Yeah.
So like we went through a similar thing where we had to separate and go and work on ourselves for like quite a few months. Do you know what I mean? And it was only through working on ourselves and getting out of them old habits, old behaviours, and being able to just be like, that's their life, that's my life, you know, that's nothing to do with me, do you know what I mean? I can only control me and what I do and who I want to be, and then, you know, love and support and, you know, like, apply what I've learned into all my relationships, not just romantic relationships, you know, it's all relationships are difficult. Josh, go on.
No, like, I need to listen to this, mate, because I'm a bad fantasist like that. Ryan's laughing there behind the camera. I just fall in love with people in meetings, me, and stuff like that.
Is it love or lust?
Yeah,
It's
lust,
fantasy,
but I'm a
isn't
fantasist,
it?
you
Yeah.
know what I mean? But from, like, because, like, from an outside perspective, when you see relationships in recovery and stuff like that, and I'm not preaching because I could take my own advice and stuff, but I feel a lot of it boils down to, like, honesty, compromising and communication. Like,
and it's not easy.
And that's just like every relationship, not just even based in recovery.
Communication's like the fucking hardest part, because, well, this is personally for me, because that's what me and my ex-partner have kind of realised, that we're so bad at communicating with each other, because for the majority of our relationship we've used together, so we've treated each other like shit, so the only communication that we know is to speak to each other like we're fucking shit.
Well, they say there's the difference, isn't there, between hearing and listening, and when someone isn't listening and they're just hearing and they get defensive, you know, so you go on the attack and then the other one gets defensive and goes on the attack, and instead of, like, you both, it's like learning a communication languages, do you know what I mean? Because I think there's a difference between men and women. I think men are more logical and women are more emotional.
Yeah,
so where
definitely.
we talk about how it makes us feel,
Yeah.
they talk about their intention of not wanting to make us feel that way. Do you know what I mean? So it kind of just...
I think
can I-
it boils
sorry.
down, sorry John, I think it boils down to, like, you carry other things, you like mentioned it, and, like, if you've been in a toxic relationship early on, like when you're younger and stuff, you sort of carry them behaviours into each relationship, unless, like, you work on yourself and stuff. Because I know I've been a fucking nightmare in relationships. Everything's about me. Don't listen to the other person. Like, I'm just like, man, how's everything affecting me?
Yeah.
Like, me being the forefront of everything.
Yeah.
But I get in the way. Like, I get in the way of everything. So I just create more situations that's not even needed to be there. Like, how do you get on, my life?
Yeah, because it's a completely different situation.
I'm just, like, really grateful that I'm not with another addict and says things, because she doesn't ever say to me, you need to ring your sponsor, or I need to go to a meeting. You know, like, I don't have that. But I think the thing what I've learned about, like, relationships is, when I was in rehab, like, they used to say, don't get in a relationship for 12 months, get a plant.
Yeah, they
And
used
then
to say
once
that
you've
in
looked
rehab.
after the plant, then get a pet, and then you're ready for a relationship. That doesn't work. Like, for me, what works for me is, if I work on myself through the 12 steps, right, I become better at all my relationships. So I'm a 12-stepper, me, so I apologise if people aren't thinking, I can't, my recovery is based around 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous. I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but that's where I lean on for my recovery. And what that program is, it's all about relationships.
Yeah.
It's all about being better with not just romantic relationships, but with friends and family and the community that we live in and stuff like that. So, like, this is where I got it wrong. I always thought that I needed a partner to make me whole. And what the 12 steps did, and a higher power made me feel that I was whole by myself, with or without a relationship, that I would get by. Do you know what I mean? Now, my mind doesn't attach to that. That's like the spiritual aspect of this. Nicola will know this. Like, me and Jill had a few years ago, we had a fallout and we'd split up. I was in bits. I was on the phone to her, like, most days, like, just sobbing, do you know what I mean? Because I felt like thinking. And I learned a lot about the 12-step program through that process, because I didn't pick up, you know what I mean? But I learnt that I needed to rely more on my higher power, because it's that what will save my ass. When the shit hits the fan, it's my higher power that will save my ass, not my relationship.
And that's what I was saying to you before, wasn't it? Every time I've been in a situation, it's always been, that's why I've got such a close relationship with my higher power through the steps, I think, because throughout my life there's been that many situations where there's only been God there and God has helped me through something, you know, that I can't deny that. And the 12 steps, the more you do them and the more you try and act in a good way and realise that there is another way to act and things like that, it helps with my relationships. And I have to put the 12 steps first in everything. Do you know, it doesn't matter what's going on around me at the minute, I think, because I don't know if it's because I'm like early recovery, I'm not, you know, I'm nearly 9 months. But I have to put this first no matter what, and as long as I put this first, then my higher power will, you know, try best he can. You have to act yourself as well, but...
Just before we wrap it up, mate, I think this is like really important around when we talk about like the programme, and the programme is a set of principles. It talks about it, and they're written so simply that we can follow them in our daily lives. That's what it says in the literature, and the principles of the programme will help to develop, grow and flourish our relationships, and it's based around care and compassion and consideration, do you know what I mean? And all my actions, although I'm not perfect, I try and consider how my actions will affect other people, do you know what I mean? And that's what makes my relationships better, not just with my partner Jill, but like with my friends and my family and the people I'm in meetings, because I try and apply the principle of compassion, care and consideration.
But having said that, on the other end of the spectrum, I don't want a relationship romantically. I focused over the last 16 months on the relationship with my family and friends. I didn't entertain whether I should have a romantic relationship. That was not my focus. My focus was mending the bridges that I'd smashed down through my addiction.
And that is cool.
That is part of the steps, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it starts with like getting a relationship with a higher power, and then a relationship with yourself, and then a relationship with others.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's the process that you go through, and it is all about relationships and learning how to live in a world where there's so many different people and things that
And
go
I've
on.
found myself
Like-
so much through the programme, you know, finding out what I do like and don't like, and
Right, we will have to wrap it up there, coming up to time. So thanks for watching. If you have got any comments or any input that you want, and if you've got any questions, what you want to add into our bucket.
That's what he was doing.
Is that what he was doing? I don't know what he's doing behind the camera. He's like this.
I was thank God that's what he was doing.
What's going on about? Yeah, thanks for watching. Give us a like, share and subscribe.